And we wanted to take a minute here during the plenary when we're all here to recognize their contribution to us here in the IETF. So I invite Jason to come up to speak about the field.
Thank you. So not everybody may know Dave Taht. He was around the IETF many years ago. He started really getting involved in Bufferbloat with Jim Geddes for a long time. And he was integral in really getting a lot of the technical community to understand what Bufferbloat was and to recognize that along with others that he collaborated with, that there wasn't a trade-off that you could have either high bandwidth or low delay. And he used to like to say bandwidth is a lie, which was always funny. And he's done a lot of things over the years. He's brought together a lot of people that contributed to open source to do things related to CoDel and FQ-CoDel and SFQ-CoDel and so on. There's Dave. And that ended up getting picked up by lots of downstream projects. And the result of those sorts of AQMs was that many people suddenly had better internet access, internet performance. And he had a real gift for identifying those things. And on a personal level, he was a very interesting guy. He was obviously a little bit offbeat in a really fun way, and also a contrarian in a really interesting way, in a way that helped provoke technical discussion and debate and questioning of assumptions. And he had a real skill for that, and doing it in a way that didn't turn people off, but got them to listen, got them interested and engaged. And he was a funny guy. In fact, I remember one of the first few times I talked to him, he was telling me about the experiments he was running on this wireless network that he was running at a campground in California that was sort of like a clothing optional campground, and he thought that would shock me in some way. And I was like, whatever, dude. Tell me about the network. So it's he's an interesting guy, and he's done a lot of things. Even most recently, he's been involved in starting an organization, a company called LibreQoS, that was trying to productize this, put it in open source. We've had a bunch of deployments around the world, and that organization continues. At least one person is here from that org. And so Dave touched a lot of people and did a lot of things that are sort of behind the scenes. There's not a lot of glamour in a lot of those things, but all of the actions that he took, and I knew Dave since probably 2010, so quite a while, made a real difference. He was just a really kind-hearted guy, a really gentle soul that had a lot of fun, and was really smart and really good at bringing people together, writing code and getting it deployed in really savvy ways so that it would just sort of naturally get picked up by projects over time. So you may not have known Dave directly, but probably a lot of the things that he's worked on over the years have had an effect on the projects that people here have been involved in, and deployments like our deployment at Comcast he had a direct influence on over the years. So he's played a big role in helping the world focus on reducing buffer bloat, reducing latency, improving network responsiveness, and he'll be missed. So thank you.
Thank you, Jason. And I invite to